In today's society, learning disabilities affect up to 10% of the population. That translates into 2 or 3 people in every classroom have a specific learning disability.
Learning disabilities. I think I have a lot of students who other students don't even know, not suffer from learning disabilities, but deal with their learning disabilities.
35% of students with learning disabilities do not finish high school and drop out. Even though people think learning disabilities are an excuse to do poorly, they themselves cannot help it and are unable to change it.
They choose the learning disability, right? So it's not fair to say, oh, you have that, that's too bad for you. It's my job to make sure that I'm catering to how they learn and to make sure that they can go ahead and succeed with the material I'm teaching them in a way that is good for them, in a way that is serviceable for them.
A lot of you are probably wondering right now, what is a learning disability? The definition of a learning disability is, it's a noun, a disorder as dyslexia, usually affecting school-age children of normal or above normal intelligence, characterized by difficulty in understanding or using spoken or written language, and thought to be related to impairment or slow development of perceptual motor skills. Some of the learning disabilities include dyspraxia, ADHD, anxiety, dysgraphia, ADD, dyslexia, and speech impediment.
Several students who have learning disabilities, and I think I have a lot of students who other students don't even know, not suffer from learning disabilities, but deal with their learning disabilities.
The disorder I have is anxiety. In school, my anxiety affects me when I try to focus in class and when I try to work and I get really distracted.
My disorder is essentially I have trouble with saying words and also getting thoughts across. This disability has basically affected me in school with the fact that when I was younger I would basically not want to answer questions at all, and I would basically fall behind in classes and not be able to truly grasp concepts.
Through interviewing teenagers in our area, we have come to the conclusion that most teens with learning disabilities feel that they are not given enough attention at school in order to better cope with their specific disability.
I feel like the school only helps out people that have really major things going on, but for the students that don't necessarily need as much help, they're less aware of it.
In general, state contributions to special education spending have not kept pace. In 1987, state funding accounted for 56% of special education spending and local funding accounted for only 36%. In 1999 to 2000, the average state share of special education spending had dropped to 45%, and the average local contribution had risen to 46% based on the data from 39 states. Are the teachers aware of this problem?
From a teacher's perspective, definitely. We know a lot about learning disabilities, how to teach to specific students who have specific learning disabilities. From a teacher's perspective, I think we're very well informed. From a community perspective, I don't think so. I think a learning disability is still seen as kind of a negative thing, when in reality it's very much a neutral thing. We all have disabilities that we have to cope with on a daily basis. It might not be a mental or processing issue, but we all have disabilities. So from a community standpoint, I think we still have to get the word out there that a disability is not necessarily a negative thing. It's just
ever since I've been accepted into my IEP program, I have not received any help from the school whatsoever.
My current teachers don't know about my disorder, but my guidance counselors are aware of it.
So, do teachers know about learning disorders? Yes. But, do they know which individuals have them? No. And that can be a drawback to the students, as they have an unfair advantage that they did not choose but rather were born with it. A learning disability is a neurological condition that interferes with an individual's ability to store, process, or produce information. Having a learning disorder does not mean you have a low IQ or that you are stupid. No, not at all. It just means you process and store information differently than other individuals. And people need to see this because these learning disabilities will continue throughout the person's life and they cannot change it as it's a heredity thing. It has come to our conclusion that the school board is not doing enough to help and motivate kids who have a less major learning disability than others. Many people would like to see this change in the future, as we are the future.